downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Jefferson going to go in motion right. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. Stops shy of the 45 despite some powerful running. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. We're scoreless after 1. 2nd quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. 3rd play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Here's Darnold. Addison hauls it in. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. They'll give him 4 yards there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together to watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the 1st down sticks are. Yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback, the latest in a long line of NFL QBs from USC.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension.
Toward the sideline, intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
Well, it certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what, and he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage, and they were more than ready for him. The problem now is if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football, they got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield.
After the interception, here's Darnold. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Second and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Third and 5. Darnold. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Now it's Darnold. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Kyler Gordon in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Well, how about that? The defense's first sack. It doesn't come from one of the usual suspects up front. It comes from the secondary.
Yeah, I think they caught the quarterback off guard a little bit because he wasn't able to account for the possibility of that blitz and change the blocking assignments. He comes through and puts him on the ground.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now Darnold. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
And his kick is indeed good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been all about the defense, just a lone field goal in that first half, and as a result, not too much available in terms of highlights. But that's okay. We've got a full half to go. And to bring it your way, let's get back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. This is a game, Charles, that's been fairly starved for offense. Really not much in that first half. We'll see if they can get something going here as we look toward the third quarter.
And not just a chance to finally get a little more offense going, but to erase that small deficit they currently trailed by. I think they'd send a pretty powerful message to the opposite sideline if they drive it right down the field coming out of the half.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
Looking to throw is Williams. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Sacked by Andrew Van Ginkel.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
A tough spot here, 3rd and 15. To throw, Williams. He'll find Swift out of the backfield. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. On 4th down, here's Williams. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So now it may look bleak, but this one not over. They do have all 3 timeouts.
Even at this point on the field, where it looks like, you're really backed up, hold them to a field goal. That's the mantra right now. You hold them to a field goal, you still got a chance to take care of business on the other end. But you're right, the 3 timeouts are going to be key. How well they use them to preserve clock as well as stopping them, that's the key to giving them a chance to win.
They've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Now a timeout called for by the defense as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Here's a 2nd and 5. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. And they'll indeed take a knee. Darnold is going to take a knee, and that should just about do it. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
But you know what they say, it's always fun to work on things if it didn't go well in your game with a victory in your pocket. And that's what they've got going forward.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.